Okay, guys. Yes, this is definitely a back-to-back video because there's a lot going on. But this video is just, I want to go over some updates. Some of you guys are well aware that I have been posting prophetic words from some very renowned prophetic voices that God has graced me to be aligned with. We've seen several confirmations of what it is that they have prophesied coming to pass. But we are at a place now where I'm really hoping that those who have turned a blind eye and a deaf ear in months past will take it seriously now. The reason why I share these types of things is to get validity for the prophetic, so that people don't view the things that I've been sharing regarding the things that have been prophesied as pathetic, but rather prophetic. These are not predictions. These are prophecies. There's definitely a difference. I apologize for the curtains. I chose a background for this video that was going to be different because it's a different video, and I just did another video and I didn't see that the curtains were going to be blowing. So somebody please close the window. Okay. But I'm going to get into this really quickly. There is, let me close out a couple windows here, because here's the first thing that I want to point out. Okay. I've mentioned this before regarding these dead or missing U.S. scientists. There's 11 of them now. The number keeps growing. I think it was 8 at one time. Then it became 10. Now it's 11. It is now being deemed a national security threat. It does appear that there's a high possibility that something sinister is taking place here, says House Oversight Chair James Comer to Fox News. This is a big deal. And if you guys remember Kim Clement's prophecy, about the Snowden, he had mentioned that the people would say, we have no protection. We have no protection. And that the prophet said, I don't know if this has to do with the alien deception or if it has to do with, potential war, because both have been prophesied. However, the fact that these 11 missing scientists are a national security threat now is a big deal. Let me share with you this article here. It wouldn't surprise me if you look into these individual cases. There's probably something more once you dig into it, from the New York Post. Let's see. Then there's another that I want to show you. I should have actually added. I can probably close this one out. This is an interesting one. Watch this. Okay. New York Post, a few days ago, related to the dead or missing scientists. They literally just disappeared. They left all of their devices at home. This is not normal. Okay. Let's see. This is 8. This is all 11 on this chart here. All 11 of them, they left their devices at home. All of their cell phones at home. This is not something to be taken lightly, guys. This is a very big deal. Let me pull this up real quick. Make sure that I've got everything covered. Okay. One more thing that I'm going to get into, and like I said, I forgot to title this video a little more. But watch this, because there is more. This is an interesting statement by FBI Director Kash Patel. Listen to this.
Let me ask you about the mission, because every time I see President Trump, he says this repeatedly, that the election was rigged in 2020. I mean, he says it all the time. We all know that. And it's almost getting lost because he says it so much. You've been at the FBI now 14 months. Have you done anything about that? And do you have anything to tell us about that?
Absolutely, Maria. Look, I've been with the president nearly since day one on this. As I told you earlier, I was the one that led the effort with folks like Trey Gowdy, Johnny Ratcliffe, and Devin Nunes to expose the corruption that tried to thwart President Trump's first presidential election run. And we saw the FISA abuses there. And I lived through it, and the media came at me then, too. That just shows you that when you're over the target, you keep pummeling the target because the media is going to try and pummel you. We are not going to take this and have not taken this laying down. We did already indict former Director Comey, and that's going through the judicial process. But we also at this FBI, even though we uncovered what we uncovered back in the House Intel days, I had to come in here and find rooms that they hid from the world. I had to come in here and find access on our computer systems in restricted and prohibited case files that they purposely put in places for no one to see and find. We have found all this information. We are working with our Department of Justice partners, and I am never going to let this go, because they not only have personally attacked the presidency of the United States and President Trump, but they tried to thwart our elections and rig the entire system. And that is not something that is going to stop on it. That is not something I'm going to allow on my watch. But you just have to remember, they built this disease temple over 20 and 30 years. We've got all the evidence. I can announce on your show that we've got all the information we need. We're working with our prosecutors at the Department of Justice and their Attorney General Todd Blanche, and we are going to be making arrests, and it's coming. And I promise you, it's coming soon.
Okay. When the FBI director says and makes statements that arrests are coming and they're coming soon. Now, he also said what I've actually been telling you guys in regards to, you know, why people are wanting oftentimes for things to happen quicker than they actually can. And I've mentioned specifically that you've got to give some of these agencies time to build their case. Because what do you want at the end of the day? Do you want a case that can easily be dismissed, overturned, thrown out, defaulted upon with technicalities, whatever? Or do you want them to be meticulous and patient and to take their time to make sure that they form a strong ironclad case against these individuals that they're going to be prosecuting? And that's exactly what he was describing. He said, we've already found information long time ago. He says, however, we had to then find these rooms and these locked files and all these different things. So he's basically confirming exactly what I have been sharing in regards to that. However, he makes an interesting statement and he says, arrests are coming soon. Now, if you remember some others that have prophesied, and even the dream that I had about the big O, former President O, there's been prophetic words that there would be exposure coming concerning him. The Lord gave me a dream where he showed me that there was corruption related to that. Okay. Let's go to the final thing here, and then I'm going to end this broadcast. Here is the kicker. This is going back to the alien thing, but you guys, I don't know if you've seen this. This is ridiculous. I said, you thought the prophecies were a joke. It's time to get right with Jesus because the great alien deception is underway. This was 2 days ago. I posted this. This is Marco Rubio.
This morning, we're going to have a classified briefing on the objects that were shot down over the last weekend. First of all, I don't know why it's classified. I do not believe that any of the information that they've shared or are going to share with us is going to be the kind of thing.
Wait, what did he say? We're going to have a classified briefing on what was shot down over the weekend? That's weird.
This morning, we're going to have a classified briefing on the objects that were shot down over the last weekend. First of all, I don't know why it's classified. I do not believe that any of the information that they've shared or are going to share with us is going to be the kind of thing that has to be kept secret. There's very specific reasons why things are classified, and if this doesn't meet the standard, maybe I'm wrong, we're going to find out. Second is this is pretty extraordinary. Okay, this is not just a curiosity or into weird stuff about UFOs and aliens. For the first time in 65 years, the United States has shot something down over our airspace, not once, but 4 times.
We have shot 4 things down over our airspace. Listen to this, though.
And 3 of those 4 things, we have no idea what they are.
3 of those 4 things, we have no idea what they are.
And people deserve to know what they are. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. You're launching at least $800,000 missiles off a fighter.
Did you guys hear? Like, is that not like the words of our country is under attack? I mean, let's just start there, right? He said we've shot down 4 things over our airspace for the first time in 65 years. He says, and not 1, but 4 things. And he says in 3 of those things, we have no idea what they are. Yes. Hold on a second. Why is this not circulating over every major news network right now, first of all? But second of all, when the prophets have told you that there's a great alien deception coming, and all of these major scientists and, physicists and whatever these, roles or classifications of these people that are working for NASA and literally specifically worked on cases involving aliens. And 11 of these doctors or scientists have gone missing, where all of their, mobile devices are still at home. They've gone missing or dead. So there's a great national security threat now being made, publicized by our government. And they are now saying that they have shot down 4 unidentified objects over our country for the first time in 65 years. Not 1, but 4. And 3 of those, we have no idea what they are. My urgency, my passionate plea to each and every person that has ever watched my content, and you thought I was completely bonkers when I mentioned the prophecies about the great coming alien deception that the prophets have prophesied. It's time to start paying attention to why God is doing what he's doing, what he's doing, and, and then, of course, why he's doing it. So a lot of people don't understand the crypto thing. There's been a lot of ridicule, a lot of attack, a lot of, people even claiming. One of my videos recently went viral on Facebook, and, of course, there's all these people coming out of the woodwork, and they're saying Jesus would never give crypto advice. I'm just like, well, first of all, it's quite interesting that you can believe that you can tell him what he can and cannot do. That's kind of peculiar. But let's forget about that for a second, as if we can try to forget about that. And the other thing is you don't even ask questions about why on earth would he even be doing this. Let's just start there too. Like before you can actually make a decision, you actually have to process or analyze or consider. And that normally starts by asking questions. And so, yes, there is a coming economic crisis. We've been talking about this for quite a while, as well as all the other things we've been talking about, of things that are being prophesied that are coming. And so when you begin to see one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other begin to be fulfilled and made manifest, you have to start paying attention. Well, you don't actually have to do anything. But my plea and my hope is that you would do the very thing that I'm encouraging you to do, and that is to start paying attention, whether it's to stuff that I share or anybody, because God is raising up a people in this hour where he is absolutely positioning them to be stewards of what he's releasing in order to provide for people in the coming days that are going to need it. And some people are not going to know what's happening when it's actually occurring. When this great alien deception begins to manifest at a larger degree, you've already got 11 doctors and scientists that are missing. Everybody's like, yeah, that's weird, turning the channel to the next thing. They have no idea that this is a setup, guys. And now you've got Marco Rubio saying that there have been 4 unidentified flying objects that have been shot down over the U.S. airspace for the first time in 65 years. And he says, not 1, but 4. And he says, and then 3 of those 4, we still have no idea what they were. What? If you guys have not, let me ask you this. For those of you guys who watch the news regularly, have you heard that on your major news broadcasting network? I'm surprised it's not everywhere. I'm surprised we haven't called a national security, some sort of lockdown or something. And well, sorry, I hate to say it, but that's potentially what's going to be occurring. But what are we going to do then? Try to quickly get prepared for all this stuff? No, man, God is releasing the prophetic insights now of things that he is giving us instructions on, of practical application in order to be ready and positioned and aware, informed, educated prophetically, so that we don't become deceived. That's a big deal. Because some people, it's been prophesied that many's hearts will fail them in the coming days. Because great fear is actually going to come upon the land. I mean, listen, I don't like saying these types of things, and some people will just literally tune off the channel at the sound of hearing something like that, because we're just programmed to be that nature. Nobody wants to, we're selective anymore. We live in comfort. We live in this amazing, everything's just wonderful. You get to pick and choose whatever you want in life anymore, until a season comes upon the earth where you can't. We've had seasons like that in the past. We call them things like World War II, all these different types of events that have occurred, the Great Depression. And these are the types of things that are being prophesied, of things that are coming. So the links are in the description below for various resources. If you've been following any of my content, stay connected. Join my private community if you want to follow the prophetic crypto stuff. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Heaven's News Broadcast, if you want to get prophetic updates. Opt into the text line if you want to receive, the pertinent notifications. Let's see, purchase the Crypto Cycles course from the other guru who I really esteem in what he's provided. If you are into crypto and you want to get that incredible dashboard with all the AI that gives you the most information you could ever possibly imagine on the crypto markets, and so on and so forth. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks again. And there's a lot that is occurring in the earth today. My hope and my prayer is that you all, and myself included, would just take heed to what the Spirit of the Lord is saying, not turn a blind eye, because there's coming a day where you just won't be able to anymore. And that's why I'm sharing some of the things I'm sharing with you today. That's why this video is titled The Great Alien Deception. You cannot ignore it anymore. When Marco Rubio is saying we've shot down 4 objects over the U.S. airspace for the first time in 65 years, and 3 out of the 4 we still have not been able to identify. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but that does cause me a bit of concern. However, not as much concern as I would have had before, because God has already forewarned us about this, and I've been talking about it. I've been sounding the alarm about it, and I've been pointing to the prophets that have been prophesying about it, because I honor the prophetic word of the Lord. God bless.